Hi, Sharon Durbin Graves, Painting with Acrylics 101.com, a beginning online website. I created it for very beginning painters. When I started painting 20 years ago, finding information for a first right out of the box beginner was hard. There's a lot of information out there. If you know a few things, you can really add on to it. But to start off at the very beginning is kind of tough. So last week, I did a painting demonstration on blending colors. Okay, so we used blue and white, and we made a tree, and we put some highlights on this particular side. Okay, there. Okay, so now I've got my same palette. I gave it a little spritz. It's because I'm using acrylic paint. I use just a little spray bottle, and I gave it a little spritz. It'll dry out otherwise. Now I'm going to show you what 4 different brushes will do. This is a bristle brush. Now I'm going to pick up some white and some blue paint. This is a natural hair bristle brush. This is your workhorse of your art kit. Okay, this is like a 12, it's at least a 10. And when you're doing a background, you can scrub it in. Okay, you can't do this with a synthetic brush. Okay, I'm just scrubbing that in there. So you can't do really fine work with this kind of brush, but you can get a lot of work done quickly. So now if you wanted to try to do something, you're not going to get a sharp line or anything with this, but it's a natural hair bristle brush. It's flat, and it will honestly be the workhorse of your art kit. Okay, I'm going to pull out a synthetic brush here. And this, I love these brushes because the bristles are just so great, and you can get the sharpest little line if you want one. They are, and I can never remember the name of them. I have to pull my glasses off. Royal Signature Soft Grip. Okay, it's a Royal Soft Grip, I think. Okay, so you always dip your brush in the water first and then tap it off. You don't want it sopping wet. You just want some moisture in there, and the paint will stick to the bristles better. So here you go. Now you can get a really fine line with a brush like this. You can get something like this. You can be okay. You can this is just so versatile. You can make so many different kind of marks. You should just get you some paint on a paper palette, paper plate, and just play. You can do all sorts of things with it. Turn it on its side. This is what I use to make most of my leaves, petals, ribbon, anything like that. It's a synthetic flat brush. Gotta rinse these out, can't leave them sit in the water. Here is a round brush. I don't use these very often, but it's good to know, and it's good to play with. Okay, so it's just a round brush, and this is a synthetic round, but you can do some really fun things, and depending on the pressure, you can make it very wide, and if you pull back on the pressure, you can get a pretty thin little line. Now my paint's not particularly thin. You need to roll the brush in the paint to get it loaded really well. So you can see I can make some interesting branches. And I'm just letting it kind of dance across the can. And this is watercolor paper. It's just fun to play with and to feel what it can do. Okay, so you want to roll your brush in the paint when you load it up, and you know, just play with it. See what can I, if I push hard, what do I get? If I back off the pressure, what do I get? If I twist it, can I turn it easily? I can get really up on the edge there, okay? So, and then finally, we have a script liner. This is not my favorite script liner. Let me find my best one. I want to be able to show you something here. There we go. Let me put some water on it. Now, a script liner, you have to make your paint almost like ink. So you're going to have to dip it in the water several times. And again, you have to roll this brush in the paint. You can't just dab at it. It won't load well. So put it on there, roll it, and get a good sharp point on there. Okay, so now I can come over here. I can really get some interesting branches. All sorts of, you have to reload it fairly often. It just doesn't hold that much paint. Now, anytime you do a branch, you don't, like I want to have an offshoot up here. Well, I just hit the paper. I want to have an offshoot over here. I have to start back here and come up to where I want it. Otherwise, it makes kind of a little, I don't know, a goober. Is that what you call it? I don't think so, Sharon. So I'm going to come up here and go off. And I'm going to come back and go off. You don't do it right where you want it. Start back here and go off. Start back here and go off. Well, go off. It'll blend better. Okay. So there you've had 4 different kinds of brushes to use. A script liner, a round brush, a synthetic flat, and a bristle flat. And so those are just exercises. You don't get good at painting by watching me paint. You need to put miles on your brush. So I just want you to know what kind of brushes you have. Look at them, understand what you've got, and then play in the paint. Do something with those brushes. And even if it's just one color, you can learn a lot. You can learn just as much doing that as you can trying to paint something and get frustrated because you don't know enough to even paint anything yet. So thank you so much, Sharon Durbin Graves, Painting with Acrylics 101.com. If you've learned anything or enjoyed this, just give me a thumbs up, please, and subscribe to my channel. Next to the subscribe word, there's usually a little bell, and if you click on that bell, it'll notify you whenever I upload something every single week. So thank you so much. Hope you stop by my website. See you in Facebook, Instagram. I'm on Kentucky Paintster in Instagram and Twitter. So go ahead and give us a look. And thanks a lot. Hope to paint with you real soon. Have a great day.